It's now time for Around the World with Tepi Worldwide, brought to you by Betway, where you get way more.
So something interesting and also potentially, it's funny, but it's also quite serious. We saw Farouk Kocha. He is Okay, let me just give you the full story. Okay, You're right.
You are going around the world.
I am, aren't I? Akara Nguchu. Please help me pronounce this, guys. He is the president, the Afara Nguchu president. His name is Farouk Kocha. He resigned, actually, because he punched a referee.
In Turkey.
He punched a referee, Hail Amout Malir, following his side's 1-1 draw with Rizespor in the Turkish Super League on Monday night.
That was ugly.
Yeah, no.
It was ugly. Did you see the blue eye on the ref?
Yeah, so that was a full-on punch, and then the referee was kicked when he was on the ground
Shame,
afterwards
man.
as well.
Yeah,
It
so it's
was
not just him,
really
there's actually two more
That was a
people.
really bad assault on him.
He was not even supposed to resign. He was supposed to have been fired.
Mamel.
No, he was arrested also,
He
remember?
was
Well, he
arrested.
can't be fired. He's the chairman of the club.
Mamel.
So
How do you
there's-
fire Jomoson?
He
You
fire
can fire
himself.
him from the board of the league.
How do you fire Jomoson?
So he,
You can fire him from the board of the league.
so I think
you don't
he's-
participate in
So
football.
not only has Tepi will allude to this, I'm sure, but not
Yes.
only has the club's disciplinary actions process started, but the president of Turkey has suspended the football games. in
Yes,
the
for
Tur-
3 matches, in fact.
They're only getting back on the 19th, I think. They
Yeah.
resume on the 19th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's been a suspension of the entire league because of this incident.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Yeah.
Those sins
So he would
don't
pay a
belong in
fine
football.
and play 5 matches without fans.
Sure.
Only.
Yes.
That's not
And
bad.
also he has to pay 54,000 US fine. And like I've mentioned,
Which
then
he can
5
afford.
Yeah, he
course.
owns a football club.
He owns
Yeah.
a football
And he
club.
has been banned permanently.
That's what I mean, Len.
permanent ban.
Yeah.
Permanent
he's been
ban. He
permanently
does not
banned
have
for
to be
any
involved
trick
in
by
anything
the
that-
TFF.
The easiest thing, you just get your son to run the football club under your instructions.
Yeah, but you're gonna be sitting at home.
That's fine.
It's not fun.
It's still your club.
You wanna be in the mix of things.
It's fine.
Would you run a football club and you can't even go to the stadium to watch a football club play?
But I guess the son will go run
But
the
I mean,
club.
you still are losing something.
You are
You're not
losing
being
something.
able to attend a match. And
he
you can
mentioned
clearly
it.
see how passionate it is, and that's why he went as far as
Exactly.
even, so yeah,
You can
it
go
is
watch
still
horses or
Horses.
cricket. Is a cricket in Turkey?
I don't think much cricket. in Turkey.
Basketball. Basketball is big in Turkey. You can go watch another sport.
He should not be allowed anywhere near any sporting events.
That is a
Justice.
very good point. Tepi, where we off to next?
Yeah, so we were in Turkey, so now we are moving over to the Saudis, the UAE, the side Al Jazeera. You would know him, and actually, I'm going to ask you a question. His name is Frank de Boer, and he has after 14 games now told to leave the club because it has not been performing. You would remember that he was also a Crystal Palace manager, did not do well there. And, Jose Mourinho branded him. And then I'm going to ask you this question. Would you say that Mourinho was correct in saying that Frank de Boer was the worst coach in history?
Statistically, he was the worst coach in Premier League history when he was when he was at Swansea, or was he not at Swansea
He was
during
at
that time?
Ajax. Oh, okay, no, I don't know.
No, Frank de Boer.
Wasn't he at
Or was it
Palace?
the time at Palace where he had no wins, no
5.
goals?
Yeah, he had 5 consecutive losses.
Five.
When he
He
started.
managed 5 games,
Yes.
0 wins, 0
Nothing,
goals,
yes.
5 losses. So statistically, that would have been right. But Frank de Boer was a terrific player.
I know, as a player, he was terrific.
Him
yes.
and his brother Ronald de Boer had a great era at Barcelona,
Ronnie.
and they were part of a really great Dutch side as well. But yeah, he now unable to make the cut rather
Wait,
in
didn't
Saudi League as well.
Didn't his side lose against the team that was coached by Pito at some point?
In the Saudi League.
In the Saudi,
the Saudi.
probably.
No, not Saudi,
was it
but one of the continental cups from the Gulf area.
I'm not too sure about that.
Could have been Frank or could have been but it was a former Barcelona player who was coaching a side or who coaches a side up in the Gulf area and played against.
Was
the
it not
Pito.
Xavi when he was there?
No. Because remember, Xavi came back last season. Mourinho,
yeah.
not Pep. Man,
Pizza was not there yet.
Pizzo only went to
Yeah, no,
to
sorry
thingy
about
just
that.
now,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, but Al Jazeera, like I think they won that league the previous season. They won, they won the league the previous season, and I think they are looking at where they are right now, and I think they are.
So when Al Jazeera fired Frank de Boer, was it breaking news?
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Okay, so let's just move over finally because we don't have a lot of time. But I just want to talk about this bad boy who has somehow, I guess, turned a new leaf. He's at Hetafe right now, Mason Greenwood. The story is that he could either be going, or he's being monitored rather, by Real Madrid, by Bayern, as well as many other teams. My question is that, would you say that Manchester United have just, accepted that he's never going back there? And would it be a decision for him to go to a Madrid, for example?
Every other player in Mason Greenwood's position with what he did and the amount of pressure that was on the club would have had their contract ended, torn up, destroyed,
Thanks.
whatever. Man United saw value in Mason Greenwood, even if not as their own personal playing staff, but as an asset to sell and move on, particularly in another league. There's certain countries where these sort of offences that he committed in England are sort of less frowned upon.
Yeah.
Spain might be one of those countries, hence why he's able to play at Getafe and isn't
Germany.
under a major storm. Germany, perhaps also quite progressive like the UK, so maybe a worse option for him to go to a club like Bayern Munich. But definitely Spain. And I mean, I don't think anyone's ever debated the quality of Mason Greenwood and the talent.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
there's no doubt that top clubs would be after Mason Greenwood. He's got the potential to be a world-class star, and he would be an absolute first choice at Manchester United if it weren't for those infractions and infringements. So I think that is no surprise to anyone at Manchester United that he's being tracked by top clubs since he's made a return to football. And I think they'll be looking to cash in on him when Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, one of those clubs come knocking. They won't be asking for small pennies for Mason Greenwood.
As a United supporter, sorry, let me just interject. As a United supporter, if you had your way, I'm assuming you'd want Greenwood to come back. And do you think that would be the same sentiments that other supporters would have?
I think many Man United supporters would want Mason Greenwood back. And for purely football reasons, I would have to agree with that. But to be honest, for human reasons, I think they overruled the football reasons. I don't want Mason Greenwood to play for Manchester United as a Man United fan. I think what he did was so despicable that I don't think that you should be playing as a Man United fan, and I don't think his punishment was severe enough. Unfortunately, that's the duties of the court system in the UK, and I'm not a judge. I can't tell you how he should have been punished from a legal standpoint. I'm a captain, and I don't think that I would want... For me personally, I think he should have been punished more severely. But at the end of the day, I'm not a court. And I think Man United could probably come forward and say that and say he's gone through his due process. We are not the courts.
Like a lodge situation.
He has come through. He can come play for us. And I think that would be an acceptable argument for Manchester United. But the global brand that is Manchester United, can they suffer that sort of ill press and reputational damage? Perhaps not. So I don't think, and Gift Real G says it in the comments as well, Greenwood will never come back to Manchester United, and rival fans would make it hell for him if he came back to United. Listen, Gift, we saw a player who kicked a cat get a lot of slack, but he's still playing. So
that was insane.
They even broke into his house, bro.
Yeah. No, he
Was it
kicked
because of the cat?
He kicked
Yeah.
another cat, Greenwood. Okay.